What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Brawl Project, and today we're going to be looking at the meanest decks that you can play in Brawl. The first deck we're going to look at is Golos Tireless Pilgrim. This has my pick for the strongest commander in all of Brawl, and it's so strong, in fact, that I think it should be banned. I played Golos in the Brawl Hall 2, Merchant's video showcasing the Brawl format, and I took it down with Golos, and at times it felt like, boy, I should have dialed it back a little. And I did, but I didn't dial it back enough, because Golos is just that absurd. So Golos is a 5-mana commander. It technically has every color in its color identity, because it has an ability that says 2 and plus Wooburg, one of each color. Exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play them this turn without paying their mana cost. So basically you get to draw 3 cards and play them for free right then and there. It also has an enter the battlefield effect. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a land card, put that card onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle your library. And the reason why Golos is so powerful, in addition to having every color in its color identity, and you can play any card in a Golos Brawl deck, but in addition to that, you get to just cast Golos as your commander. If it resolves, you get another land, and you're already almost to casting it again if they kill Golos. If they don't kill Golos, you just click on the Golos button, you activate the Golos ability, and usually that's enough to win the game. Drawing 3 cards and playing them immediately, it's just extremely powerful, and I think we're going to see a lot of that today. The deck is built to, well, it's built to enact the Golos game plan as often as possible. Most of the cards that you want to play either help get Golos out early, or consistently. I guess it's actually 5 colors, man. You don't have to worry about consistency. As long as you have 5 mana, you can start playing Golos. So the cards that you're playing in this deck are there to trade resources with the opponent, like Murderous Rider, Prison Realm, Mortify, Bedevil. Actually, that's most of the deck. The Planeswalkers usually have some mode that kills creatures or other permanents. You have ways of getting Golos out a little quicker. Renowned Weaponsmith allows for a turn 3 Golos, which is extremely fast. There's also Arcane Signet, Chromatic Lantern, Arboreal Grazer. Or, well, to protect your Golos from being countered, because that is your #1 enemy. Golos doesn't have any effect when it gets countered. You don't get the land. You don't get to shoot it for that land. That's a big deal. That's a big part of what makes Golos so powerful, is that it has such a powerful enter the battlefield ability. So you have some protection against counterspells, and Veil of Summer, Duress, Thought Erasure, and Rhythm of the Wild. And then you've got some sweepers to help keep you alive and let you just keep on clicking the Golos button. So yeah, I think one of the best ways to combat Golos is to use counter magic, and that's why there's so many anti-counter measures in counterspell measures in this deck. I just think it's so important to be able to be good against what's actually good against Golos, because I don't think a ton is actually that good against Golos. And then once you're to the part of the game where you're casting Golos every turn, ramping every turn, and finally activating Golos, then you start turning the corner in a hurry and just crushing them in card advantage. So how do we actually win? We don't really want to attack with the 3-5. We don't want that to be our actual win condition. Usually it involves Kenrith. Kenrith, just if you have a ton of mana, which Golos helps you get, you can do basically anything with Kenrith. We can also steal our opponent's permanents with Agent of Treachery, steal our opponent's threats and use those to win. Nicol Bolas and Liliana and Garruk also help win the game in the eventual time zone. There's no hurry when you're playing Golos. You have a better late game than most players. And of course, I would be remiss to not mention, of course, tutoring for Field of the Dead and making lots of zombies. So this is a singleton format where there are many lands of different names. It's no problem getting 7 of them in a different of different names, and then every land you play from there on out provides a zombie, and eventually those zombies attack for the win. Some people think that Field of the Dead should be banned, but I really think that Golos is the problem. I think the ability to play Golos turn after turn after turn after turn, and then once you click on Golos to activate it, is what really kills the opponent. But I'd also be lying if I said that Field of the Dead wasn't a huge help, just making an army for free. Some of the other lands, being able to tutor a land with your commander is pretty neat. You get to play a bunch of other lands that do things. I think the big highlight I want to point out is Castle Ganbrig. The reason why Castle Ganbrig is so good is because it essentially provides 2 mana. If you play Golos, if you have 5 mana, you play Golos, get your 6th land, and it's Castle Ganbrig, all of a sudden you have 7 mana. Even if you don't hit your land drop and they remove Golos, you have the mana you need to cast Golos from the command zone again. I think that's an absolute huge deal. Yeah, just when you're only supposed to ramp by 1, get 1 additional land, you get essentially 2. Well, that's a pretty big deal. A few other ones that I'm a fan of. One is Mobilize District, attacking down planeswalkers. Like people play a lot of planeswalkers in this format. Having a land that you can search up that can attack them down is useful. And another one that I like is Plaza of Harmony, which says if you control 2 or more gates, you gain 3 life. So it's just a late game life gain, just in case you're teetering on the edge. You probably don't need Plaza of Harmony. It's probably better to get more colored sources. But hey, Golos is colorless. You can cast it with any 5 lands from this deck. All right. This has my pick for the absolute meanest deck that you can play in Brawl. I think Golos should be banned, although we are just on the right on the dawn of a new set in Theros Beyond Death, and we'll see what the format looks like then. I imagine Golos is still going to be very, very good. There's a new card, Uro, which I think is likely going to be a problem, but, you know, we'll wait and see. Anyway, let's play some games with this deck, shall we? Alright, the meanest decks in Brawl, and looks like we have a Golos Tireless Pilgrim mirror match. Okay, so opponent's going first. Our hand's not bad. We've got a fast Chromatic Lantern. If we can draw a colored source, we can perhaps play Thought Erasure. And we've got Veil of Summer for the in case they try to play some counterspell. So we've got a turn for Golos. That's about as good as we can hope for. Being on the draw is unfortunate, but I think we're just going to have to deal. So we'll keep going first and getting the Golos down. When you're in a ramp mirror, that's always a huge deal. All right. One thing we may be able to do is we might be able to get the Chromatic Lantern down and then actually kill their Golos. And that will prevent them from clicking on the Golos button for a turn, especially if they miss a land drop. Then that might give us some breathing room. Looks like our opponent doesn't have a turn 2 Arcane Signet, so at least we have that going for us. Third land, Chromatic Lantern. Okay, I mean, that's exactly the same thing we're doing. Alright, here we go. So, I mean, we've got Veil of Summer in case something other than Golos happens here. I imagine we're just going to see Golos Field of the Dead. Oh! They do not have the land. Oh, but they can destroy our Veil of Summer, or our Chromatic Lantern, but we have Veil of Summer. Whoa!
Go ahead.
That is extremely fortunate. Holy cow. I've never been happier to have Veil of Summer. Whew! And that means that we get to play our Golos, and we'll be ahead in the Golos race. And that is... well, that's the most important part. Alright, so we'll pay 2 life. Let's just play Golos. Which land should I go get? Well, we're not quite to the point where Field of the Dead does a ton. I think I want some more fixing in case our Chromatic Lantern is destroyed. So I think I want a black and white source. We're definitely taking an action here. There's no question about it. So we have Temple of Triumph, which gives us red, blue, white. No, we need black. Temple of Malady, white, blue, red, green, black, and then we've got Temple Garden. I think that's what we're going with. We don't need an additional land. I think that in general, it doesn't look like our opponent's playing a lot of counter magic. I think in general, this deck should be pretty aggressive as far as scrying lands to the top and making sure that you hit your land drops. I don't think it's necessary in this exact scenario. So our opponent's best play is probably Golos, because if they do something to try to keep us off Golos, we're just going to play another land, and then we're going to go get Field of the Dead, and all of a sudden we're going to have a huge army. Okay, Arcane Signet, maybe following up with land Golos. They can't sacrifice any of these. all of these permanents are extremely important for them. Yeah, they're just ticking Vraska up. Kaya's Wrath to put Golos in the command zone. That is perfectly fine. I am happy to see that. If we're the ones playing Golos and our opponent is the one trying to stop us from playing Golos, I think we come out very far ahead. We could, like, the Vraska is going to kill our Chromatic Lantern. And if they follow that up with a way of killing Golos, then I'm actually kind of sad. Hold on, let me think. We've got 7 lands here, 8, 9. I think this might actually be a spot where I want to get Castle Garenberg, because if they kill Golos, well, we can just replay it. If they kill Golos, kill Chromatic Lantern, we get to replay it. So this is actually, I think it's a good spot for Castle Garenberg. We've got Planeswalkers covered with Murderous Rider. Like, I think that a big issue with not getting Field of the Dead is that we don't have an army to attack a Planeswalker. But I think Castle Garenberg does a good job of making sure that our game plan can't go too badly. Our opponent got Field of the Dead there, and that's you know, that is what it is. But I think we're fine. Huh, they're ticking up. I still don't think they can sacrifice a permanent here. Alright, well, now we can get to the point where we start activating Golos and seeing what happens. So, let's do it. Shall we? Alright. This land, I'm actually not interested in playing it because I want to play the Thought Erasure this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then we'll Bedevil Golos, play Renowned Weaponsmith, and attack Vraska. So let's start with Thought Erasure. I think if they could kill Golos, they should have done it before that. Liliana. I think Kenrith is actually the card that's good here. No, they can get that back. I'm just going to choose Liliana. Alright, so we got Kenrith. We'll have to keep that in mind. Yeah, our opponent's good gaming it. That is appropriate. So we just kill Golos here, attack down Vraska. Vraska can't kill our Chromatic Lantern. We'll just keep on clicking on the Golos until the game's over. Yeah, we did need to hit a removal spell there. Like, if we didn't hit a removal spell, it wouldn't be that... It would have been problematic. But our deck has so many removal spells in it. We would have had a pretty monumental whiff for that to be bad. I don't know. It is definitely possible that I should have just played Murderous Rider, right? That is a possibility. But clicking on Golos, the plan of clicking on Golos is rarely that wrong. Pulse for a land. That's not really where you want to be. They're going to get a few zombies here. And they still do have Kenrith in hand. I guess those are things that they can sacrifice to... Where does... Let's stop on my upkeep. Because I want to play the Field of the Dead. So they can sacrifice those to start drawing cards, Vraska. But I think we're okay. Time. Yeah, we're going back to the command zone. Okay, well, so much for stopping on our step. Okay, we'll draw. Okay. I think that the thing to do here is play Field of the Dead, get a zombie, then play Golos, and get another zombie with whatever land we choose to get here. We probably just want a, temple because it helps our next draw. The other thing we could do is we could get Fabled Passage for an extra zombie. But our hand is kind of light on action. I wouldn't mind seeing a Planeswalker on top of our deck. Alright, so there's our... that's acceptable also. And there's our army. We've got a bunch of zombies now. If they just play Golos, we've got Casualties of War to blow up Field of the Dead, Vraska, Chromatic Lantern... We can go 1, 2, 3, 4 cards with Casualties of War. Then we can follow it up with, I don't know. I don't think it matters too much from there. If they kill our Chromatic Lantern, can they actually stop us from casting Casualties of War? No, we barely have enough mana for that.
Oh, I've suffered worse.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, we're going to activate Golos on our upkeep, and that's going to let us cast Casualties of War. We know we've got a good hit there. Okay. So let's activate Golos. Resolve. Alright, looks like we got an Assassin's Trophy also. Let's go to our draw step. Ooh, Kenrith. Okay, so we should be able to win in short order here. Casualties of War. Planeswalker, land, creature, artifact. So we're going to destroy the Chromatic Lantern, Golos, and we're going to destroy Field of the Dead. I could play Deafening Clarion now, but these are just going to trade off. That just doesn't seem like it does anything for me. I could Assassin's Trophy my opponent's Arcane Signet, I guess. There's nothing lost to do that, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. So my opponent does have a lot of mana to play Kenrith and like give things haste, but they're still a ways away from playing Kenrith and a threat that I care about, and giving haste. And plus we've got this Murderous Rider. Yep, you got it. No? Okay, I guess they're going to try to kill us with Kenrith. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Got all these sweepers in hand that aren't all that useful. Yurok the Desecrated. Alright. I can't actually murder this Rider, because I don't have double black. So they're playing Yurok into Golos later. I guess that's the thing to do here. Okay. Oh. Opponent's had enough. We were just going to get way ahead with cards, with our Golos just activating each turn, and our opponent was eventually going to be buried. Alright, let's go on to another game. Alright, what could be more fearful than facing down Golos on the draw? Well, we get to go first against Chulane. I'll take that. We don't actually have any green mana or any way of getting Golos out a turn early, so I think I'm going to mulligan this. Punished for Interplayer and Beacon here. Ooh. Overgrown Tomb. We get to play our Boreal Grazer. I don't think this hand's good. Yeah, we can't play Teferi here either. Let's just keep mulliganing. Alright, I'll keep this one. We're against Chulane. Having a sweeper is going to be good. We'll put Liliana on bottom, because we just need to hit our land, right? If we've got Golos plus a sweeper, I think we can win this one without too much trouble. So let's play that Breeding Pool, pay 2 life, our Boreal Grazer, and we're going to put Tranquil Cove into play. If we get lucky, if we draw if our next two of our next 3 draws are lands, then we actually do get to play Golos on turn 3, which is absolutely savage. Opponent is leading off with Once Upon a Time, searching for that Arboreal Grazer, the best turn 1 play in Brawl, or perhaps Goose, which is good, but I think that Grazer is just Grazer is just the bomb. Looks like they're looking for a land. Evolving Wilds. So I mentioned that we need to find lands. Well, if we find lands in 2 of our next 3 draws, which doesn't look like it's happening. Well, I don't know. It could still happen. If we rip a land, we're in good shape. This deck is playing 29 lands, and that seems like a high number. That's basically half the deck, especially when you consider, you know, the deck is 59 cards and not 60. But that's just how important it is to get Golos down on time. Golos on time is like the absolute most important thing. Do not ask for an untapped land. That's on me. Golos on time is just the absolute most important thing for this deck. I mean, I think that's true for a lot of Brawl decks. Just playing your commander on time is just critically important, but especially with Golos. Okay, so what's going to happen here? We got an Arcane Signet. Our opponent played their Evolving Wilds already. They could have a 2-mana counterspell, which would be pretty unfortunate. But I think that would be fine. They're attacking. Okay, so they're telling us they don't have a counterspell. We'll play Golos. I think I just go ahead and get Castle Garenbrig. Take action. I'm going to get Castle Garenbrig. Actually, hold on. I can't activate Castle Garenbrig. Maybe I'm not getting Castle Garenbrig. I think in that case, I'm actually going to get a Temple in order to make sure that I hit a land in my next draw step. So let's get Temple of Malady. Teferi. How good is Teferi? Stops instants. I don't think our opponent's going to be playing a lot of instants. And a lot of their cards are going to have come into play effects. So I'm actually going to bottom Teferi. I think what we want is to hit a land and then just activate Golos. Although it might be better just to play Garrick on the next turn. So our opponent has up to 5 mana this turn. They can't do one of the really devastating things, and like, for example, Agent of Treachery or Golos, or Agent of Treachery or land, which might even be stronger. It looks like they're thinking about killing Golos. I think that's generally a good plan. That's part of why we want to hit so many land drops, is so that if they do kill Golos, we can just keep on replaying it. What you got, Fumbles? Alright, Hallowed Fountain tapped. Not wanting to play the Chulane. They must have something for 4 mana, right? I suppose not. Well. Okay, well, I mean, I do talk highly of the clicking on Golos strategy for this deck. Oh, they have a kill spell for Golos? Okay. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get another land. I don't think... We're playing for the long game here. I don't think it's too critical for us to... I don't think it's too important for us to... you know, just get a threat down and attack for 7 a turn. I think this game ends, like, if this game goes late, we end up winning just by sheer amount of cards. Alright, what do we got? Okay, I guess I go to combat now. Make him spend that blue mana. Well, alright. Something must have went wrong, like they counted their mana wrong, or they needed to play that Hallowed Fountain untapped. I'm not quite sure. That's what I'm guessing is going on here. Time wipe? Alright, command zone it is. I'm happy to play this game. Now we've got more than 7 lands on the battlefield. We'll just play Golos. Just keep on clicking Golos. Get the Field of the Dead. Play Sacred Foundry. Yeah, I'll take action. Find that Field of the Dead. So, it does look like Field of the Dead is doing a lot of work, and it is. It is. But I think that, regardless of these zombies, I think that this game is already firmly in our favor, because all we have to do is keep on clicking on Golos. I don't think there's much that can be done at this point. They can steal Golos, but we even have, you know, we've got removal. We can remove our Golos and then continue to play. Alright, 2 for 2. Let's keep on going. Alright, here we go against Mosszilla, also playing a Golos deck, but I've got the play. Unfortunately, I also have a turn 5 Golos. It's got some good cards. Actually, these are good cards in the Golos matchup. Agent of Treachery to steal the opposing Field of the Dead, or the opposing Golos, or the opposing land even, is usually pretty good. I think I'm going to keep this. Our opponent might get the first Golos, and that might be really bad for us. But, like, it's really easy to open a hand that just has a bunch of sweepers that are not very good against Golos. So I'm gonna trust in the deck here. Gilded Goose. Our opponent might be getting to Golos a lot faster than we are. 2 life probably doesn't matter, but I'm not gonna just throw it away. Okay, they're going for the turn 3 Golos. It's definitely strong. Okay, well, we've got the turn 5 Golos. The thing about doing this strategy is it doesn't play too well with sweepers. And if you're against a Golos deck that is playing sweepers, you could be in a little bit of trouble. Because, well, the things that you're doing, they have to end the game. If they don't end the game... Oh, that was actually a very good draw. I think. I'm going to go with that was a pretty good draw. If I bounced Golos... What if I just bounced Leafkin Druid? What if I just plus to Fairy? Okay, so they can't... Green. Yeah, they can't... There's no way they can activate Golos next turn. Don't have to worry about that. Okay, we're playing this tapped, yes. We're playing Teferi, yes. The thing is, if I don't bounce anything...
Let's slow this down.
Yeah, I'm just going to bounce that Leafkin Druid. Constrict their mana on the next turn. Fairy's going to die.
Done.
Annoying. If my opponent is playing... If my opponent's playing counter magic and they leave it up for my Golos, that's really annoying, and the Teferi would have prevented that. Given what my opponent's doing so far, I don't think it's that likely. They do have 2 up. Alright, well... Could play it safe and just play Rhythm of the Wild here. You know, I think I want to do that. Okay, what's going to happen? They can't make a food... They can activate Golos. If they do that, we get to sweep with Realm Cloak Giant. You know what? I'm afraid of a counter spell. That's the card that I'm really worried about. I'm going to play Rhythm of the Wild here. Statue, Agent Treachery. That's pretty good. Okay, I think we just got dunked on. The good news is that our Golos is going to survive. It's not going to survive. Well, our Golos is going to resolve. And they didn't cast the... Oh, Beanstalk Giant was previously. They hit a land. Okay, let's see what happened there. Yeah, sweeping doesn't do anything. Play Golos. Try to fight back in this one. We don't need the castle. Oh, they already used their Agent of Treachery. Maybe we can get this if we steal their Field of the Dead. Like, we can... No, we should probably steal their Golos, huh? What do I want to do here? I think I just get Field of the Dead. I need to stem the tide. And nothing does that like Field of the Dead. I think my opponent has a counterspell. Otherwise, I feel like they would have fetched differently with Fabled Passage. And tapped their mana differently. It's just what it feels like. Conclave Tribunal. Alright. Pretty big gamble putting it in exile. I do have a lot of ways of dealing with Conclave Tribunal, but it's pretty risky. Okay, Command Zone it is. So we got an Assassin's Trophy that doesn't do anything, and we got a Burrow Elder. Oh, right, it does that. Let's make sure we have double white. Our opponent has a lot of mana. I am worried about that. We can Agent of Treachery their Field of the Dead, and then sweep, and then hope to come back after that. I think that's not a terrible plan. They don't have double blue up, so they can't counter. Okay, well... The classic line in the Golos mirror of stealing an opposing land. Okay, well, none of those actually help. That's fine for us. Are they going to activate again? They've got so many lands in play. This is going to be uphill. Alright, we're only really preventing 2 damage here. Let's go ahead and make that block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think our opponent has some sort of counterspell. Is there any way for us to double spell this turn? Well, that is one way. Okay, I do not want to tap white for this. 11. Play Ugin, that seems terrible. Can play Garrick. Need to make sure that my... Like, if my opponent fires off a mass manipulation, I'm pretty much just dead. I think I like playing Garrick and then holding up Mobilized District to block. I think that's the line I like the most. Because if I play Golos, I lose that access to that. So let's try that. It's probably getting hit by Tail's End, if I were to guess.
Watch out. These get off. Stay on the trail.
We are limited to 2 spells a turn. That is an issue. However, we can do some cool stuff like playing Ugin to destroy our Fires of Invention. Fairy, alright. Fairy bouncing Agent and Treachery is pretty bad. I should specify, Teferi bouncing their Agent and Treachery is pretty bad for us. So our opponent has like a million stuff on the table. Cavalier of Dawn, Vraska, Casualties. Yeah, I think I may have played this one played myself out of this one by not just jamming into what I thought was going to be counter magic. Turns out maybe it wasn't counter magic. Golos decks generally don't play a ton of counter magic, but hey, you never know. So the question is, do I have any shot in this game at all? Okay. That's fine. How many cards do I have left? 23? Well, I don't get any more free creatures here.
Only a fool.
They don't actually get anything back if I kill the Cavalier of Dawn.
Justified.
Do I have a shot if I just jam Golos on the next turn? Teferi isn't going to bounce anything. Vraska... Yeah, alright. I think I just play Golos then. I think I take 3. Those Planeswalkers are a problem. Oh, I can't mill them if they have got Midnight Clock. What about this? Can I do this? No, I can't. I'm 1 mana short of actually being able to play Ugin than Golos because this discounts colorless spells. What about Ugin into Realm Cloak Giant? Nope, that doesn't work either. Okay, what if I play Realm Cloak Giant and hope to win from there? I've got to deal with this Vraska. The Ugin on Vraska might eventually work. I guess that's a plan. It's not like I have Planar Cleansing in here or anything to actually make that work. Are there any giants on the table? No. But I just don't have enough mana to compete is the thing. I think I'm just gonna play Golos and hope that it survives and that I can rip something really nice off of the ability. Yeah, they didn't have counter magic there. They just are not playing counter magic. Kenrith? I mean, that's a thing. Sure, we'll keep Kenrith. You're the Desecrated. See what you've got in terms of enters the battlefield effects. Well, that's a whiff. Maybe their hand isn't too good. Maybe it's just a few ramp spells that don't matter a ton, and maybe removal spells like sweepers that don't work a ton here. They left the card on top. That was probably Shastani? Almouth? Okay. 2 elementals? 3 elementals? You get to do it twice? That's pretty good.
That's more like it.
Is that my Agent of Treachery? No, it's not, right? Oh, I get to kill a lot of stuff here.
Its loss will serve us.
Okay, well, I guess I have to play Realmcloak Giant to sweep here. This Kenrith is actually not the most useful. Oh, am I just dead on the board? Yeah, I'm just dead. Okay, well, best dust in the Golos mirror. I think I have myself to blame for that. Alright, let's go into another game with Golos. Alright, here we go against Nissa, another ramp deck. Opponent goes first. Well, this hand does not have land, so we're going to... yeah, this hand has a... Well, there's a chance that I have to Murderous Rider Nissa. You cannot let someone untap with Nissa. That is just not allowed. So, there's a chance I have to do that. This Veil of Summer is a blank, but otherwise, if our opponent doesn't play Nissa on turn 4, we can play Chromatic Lantern and into our own Golos on turn 4. Well, yeah, okay, so they're going to be able to play Nissa on turn 4 here. If they ramp again, they could also go Nissa on the following turn, which would be problematic. Yeah. Well, it's also dependent on them having the lands to support it. Ah, that's not a bad one. That gets us a lot of lands out in a hurry. I think I was going to hold up Murderous Rider, but I can prevent them from untapping with Nissa by playing Chromatic Lantern into Arboreal Grazer as well, and then I have Murderous Rider available in the following turn. So I think that's fine. So opponent's going to play Nissa this turn. They can also cast a 4-mana spell if they wish. We do not... Oh, Chromatic Lantern fixes all of our mana, so we can just actually play Nicol Bolas if we would like. Well, Nicol Bolas is just going to get attacked down.
Cannot protect itself. The land shall conquer you.
Ideally, we'd have some sort of ramp to go with Murderous Rider, although if we don't have it, it's not a huge deal either. Ooh, that's interesting. What if... Oh wait, it doesn't do enough damage. Never mind. It's like, what if I attack Nissa with Kenrith? No, it doesn't do enough damage. That card is really, really, really good. Okay, well, I think I play Nicol Bolas. That is probably going to die to Nissa. I could play Nicol Bolas and kill a forest. That does shut down how much mana they have. They all only have like 8 mana as opposed to 1 million. But I think I just kill Nissa here. Well played, opponent. That's pretty good. And with that, I think we are dead. Opponent, knowing what their weaknesses are, and playing Veil of Summer to protect their Planeswalker. Although, if that's the worst they've got... they've still got a ton of mana.
Rise, my elemental friend.
Affectionate interest. Alright, killing the Arboreal Grazer. We could be okay still if we find some sort of sweeper. We are playing a bunch that would set them back by quite a bit. But we need to kill Nissa. They only have one Veil of Summer, so we don't have to worry about them playing a second one of those. I guess we could play Murderous Rider as a 2/3. That's not very exciting. But yeah, 3 damage to each creature. Does a pretty good job here. Destroy all creatures. Casualties of War is fine too. I could play Ugin and just use that to kill Nissa. I think that's better. Like, there's a chance that I could play Murderous Rider... If yeah. There's a chance that I can play Murderous Rider and shoot. It's also tempting to save Ugin for a turn where I can play Golos, because it does discount it, but I don't think that's happening here.
When you understand reality, you understand yourself. Bathe in
So we've got a lot of sweepers here, but we're also taking a ton of damage, and they could play like Endraze, Forerunners, or whatever, kill us. Ugin's not bad. It fortunately doesn't kill anything that we have. That is fortunate for sure. Field of the Dead. If I draw a land here, because they didn't really play Nissa. If I draw a land here, I might be able to. I think I just play Golos, and then I can play. Yeah, I think that like how this is gonna work. Okay, so I think I play this tapped. Just need to make sure that the triggers work out here. I think I can get my Scry and get this to work the way I want it to. Okay, so I'm just tap. Play Golos. Press full control. Resolves. Take an action. Get Temple. I don't think it really matters which temple it is. Submit 1. And then, yes, this on top. Well, it doesn't matter, but we're going to fetch in response to that. So we get the Scry here. Alright, so you need to find a land. Let's go another white source, because just in case of sweepers. I mean, we've got the chromatic. Alright, so we get zombie, and then Temple of Melody. Agent of Treachery. I don't think that's really enough, though. Like, it's an extremely powerful card for sure, and we get to steal we get to steal Ugin and make it 2/2 or something like that. They can kill a 2/2. I don't think it does something that we need. I think what we need is Sweeper. We've got a few of those. Alright, so let's see what our opponent has. They actually can just probably kill us by attacking with a bunch of things, right? Oh, okay.
Secrets manifest before you.
Can we survive? Let's block as much power as we can. I count 11 damage coming toward us. My plan is to chump block. I think I block like this. And make them activate the ooze if they want to keep it around. Oh wait, that's the other activation. Okay, so I think we're at 1. I'm at 1. Not dead yet. If they had killed something with Ugin, yeah, we'd be dead. You're going. Bummer. No, we can still draw Sweeper. That gets rid of most of their mana. And so, I think that bottoming the Agent of Treachery is right there. Okay, well, we're not going to win this. We can play Kenrith, we can gain some life, but that's about it. Alright, good game. Alright, well, let's play one more game with this. I've actually kind of been getting crushed here. Oh well, let's go on to one more game with Golos. Alright, here we go. One more game with Golos against Niv-Mizzet Reborn. Very powerful commander. Yeah, I'll keep this one. We've got an Accelerant in our Broiler Grazer here. We've got Veil of Summer. They tend to play a lot of cards that interact, that are blue and or black. Let's play the land that, well, one of the lands that comes into play tap. We actually don't have any black mana for this Murderous Rider. I think we're playing Field of the Dead 3rd, just because it is forced to come into play tap. So if we draw something like, oh, I don't know, Circuitous Route, we can make sure we play it on the next turn, and even if it gets countered, we're still okay. Yeah, we don't have Black Source yet. Alright, well, our opponents going to get to play their huge 5-mana commander, and we're going to play ours, and we're going to see who comes out on top. They tend to be pretty controlling, and I think the ability to play... I think the ability to play... This is actually making me reconsider. I'm going to just play Beanstalk Giant here. If my opponent has some sort of counter magic, I don't want them to counter Golos when I can prevent that with pretty easily with... I think I need to get black here. Yeah. Whoops, that is not what I meant to play. I meant to play this. When I have a Veil of Summer in hand, if my opponent has a counterspell, I definitely want to have that Veil of Summer up. But, as we've seen before, I am prone to psyching myself up. Oh, they could play Golos. I see. I think that's fine. We'll play our Golos with Veil of Summer up. If they want to spend their whole turn activating it, I think that's okay. So let's do this. Let's hit Castle Garenbrig. Oh, I don't have double green. Okay, let's hit a Temple then. Try to hit a land on top. Melody. Yeah, I think we need lands. Our opponent did miss a land drop, which makes me think that they're probably not activating Golos on the next turn. Attack. Sure, I'm just gonna chump block. I don't want to lose this to a Deafening Clarion or something. Hydra chase this. X equals 4. Fine. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, let's just click on the Golos button. I could... Actually, you know what I could do? I could play Liliana and sacrifice 2 creatures, because we get to... Okay, well, that's fine. We get to make a zombie, play Liliana, sacrifice, both players sacrifice 2 creatures. Then we get to draw a couple cards, and we have a Liliana and a Golos in play. Our opponent just has their lands, and I think that's a pretty good position. Alright, since that was so short, we're going to play one more with this one. And what more fitting way to end off the video with a Golos versus Golos mirror match. Fires of Invention is a very, very good card. We haven't seen this much, but being able to play fires into Golos and just keep on playing Golos for a decreased amount each turn is insane. We're going to mulligan. That doesn't have a fast way of getting to Golos. I actually like this hand okay. Because we've got that temple to help us scry something to the top. Scry land to the top. Okay. So we are in the business for lands. Murderous Rider, get out of here. If we find our 4th land, then we can go Fires of Invention plus Thought Erasure, and then we can look for our 5th land with the Surveil, I guess. It's not technically a Scry, but this is where I want to be. Alright, there's our 4th land. That one is pretty critical. If our opponent ramps, they do get to get Golos out a turn ahead of us. They're playing a ramp version. I don't think it means anything to play this Arboreal Grazer out here, especially if our opponent's playing a ramp version. If they play, for example, another creature that ramps, we're just going to go Fires of Invention into Chaos Wrath. 1, 2, 3, 4. So even if I Wrath... Okay, yeah, that protects it. Alright, I see what's going on here. So it looks like our opponent's going to get to Golos 1 turn earlier than we are. So I'm going to go ahead and play Fires of Invention and Thought Erasure our opponent. We really need to hit that land turn early, otherwise we're going to be stuck. Oh, and what good thing I did. Take out that Casualties of War, protect all of our lands. That is a land. I'm going to keep it. So our opponent was threatening to Casualties of War us. That's not a bad one. But we're going to fire back with land Golos. We'll have 6 mana, and we'll be able to play our own Casualties of War. Kill Golos, Arcane Signet, Fires of Invention, and whatever land they get, which is probably going to be Field of the Dead, and I'm going to expect our opponent's going to concede immediately. If they don't, they are a true trooper for sticking it out. Let's take action. We would like to hit our 7th land, so I'll just go get Temple. Yeah, we don't have a black source yet. If we could hit a blue source here, that would be fantastic. Kenrit's actually really good. But we want a land. Agent of Treachery is better, basically. Alright, there's our 6th land. Casualties. Yes, I would like to destroy a land, enchantment, creature, and artifact. Hold on. Yes, alternate cost. Land, enchantment, creature, artifact. Artifact is going to be the Arcane Signet. Creature is going to be Golos. Enchantment is going to be their Fires of Invention. Land is going to be their Field of the Dead. Wow, that Thought Erasure was very useful. Our opponent needs a Castle Garenberg if they want to play that on the next turn. I mean, like... If we don't draw land here, then we're not actually doing a whole ton. It also has to be a blue source for... Okay, well, that's good. Okay, cast with alternate cost. I would like to pay 0 for this. There's a blue source. We can actually just activate Golos. But you know what I think is better? Stealing a land. No, it can't be that much better. I'll just activate Golos. Oh, I didn't play a land from hand. Right, because that was from being sucked in. I had forgotten about that. Alright, time wipe. Let's go to hand. Alright, so we only get to play 2 spells a turn. Regrettable, admittedly. One of those spells can be Agent of Treachery. We can spend the mana to activate Golos as our second spell. Or we could just play make a Golos. That's pretty good. Right, well, we're gonna take that. And we're gonna play this. Alright, there we go. Okay, I mean, we actually lost 2 games. One of those, a Golos deck did win. We lost to Nissa. Props to the Nissa player. This is my pick for the strongest deck in Brawl. It's, oops, there we go. Let's open it up. I just think that it doesn't have too many great ways of attacking it, especially if it's filled with lots of answers. If you're trading one for one for your opponent with cards like, you know, Bedevil, Mortify, any of the sweepers, what have you, and then you just click on Golos a bunch of times, it's a pretty easy path to victory that just gets a ton of value along the way, and it's really difficult to deal with. I'd like to see Golos banned in Brawl. I have a guess that Uru is also going to be problematic. And it certainly has my pick for the strongest commander that you can play in Brawl right now. Alright, thanks everyone for tuning in. Be sure to hit that subscribe button because we're going to follow up this meanest decks you can play in Brawl Part 1 with Part 2. We're going to play Fairy Time Raveler, and I don't think that's a huge surprise as far as mean decks that you can play in Brawl. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.